Hello, happy Sunday. How are you today? Hope you went to church. Hope everyone is good. Who is looking forward to the Christmas holiday? Oh my goodness, my children are over excited. They can't wait at all. And I'm very sure that your kids are in the same shoe with them. Wow. Christmas is a lovely period to be fair, and I don't blame them to be that excited, anyways. So today I'll just bring us like a word of encouragement, because as the year is winding down, I'm sure that it's that time of the year where everybody is anxious, is getting depressed, or feeling as if they are stuck, or feeling that they haven't really done much this year. You know how it is that during the by the new year we've got our goals, our plans for the year, and when the year begins to wind down, you're beginning to reflect, was I able to meet up to my plans and my goals? Is that time where you don't really feel good. Some persons do feel good anyways, those who made progress, but those who are still like struggling and they're like, I can't believe by this time of the year I'll still be where I am, things like that. I just bring you good news, because one thing I want you to know is from the book of Jeremiah 29, verse 11, the Lord says, I know the plan I think towards you. They are the plan of good and not of evil. They are plan of peace to bring you to that expected end. And some of you who are also like, who embarked on different journeys by the beginning of this year, and you're beginning to encounter battles, the journey is so rough, it's not as you expected it, and you're beginning to question, God, I thought you sent me out. I thought you were in this. I thought it was your will. Why am I facing adversaries like this? I bring you this good news again. The thought the Lord has towards you is the thought of good and not of evil. He has the thought of peace for you, and He's bringing you to that expected end. So the other day we did the book of Exodus, when the Israelites left Egypt, okay, and they got that point where Pharaoh's chariots were right behind them, and before them was the Red Sea. At that point, they would be asking themselves, in fact, they began to murmur, why didn't you leave us in Egypt? Why didn't you leave us to be slaves to the Egyptian than bringing us here to die in the wilderness? And to worsen the whole case, the same Lord who was leading them, who they could see as the pillar of cloud and fire, suddenly disappeared. Because the Bible tried to explain that the Lord who was leading them had to go behind them so that the Egyptian wouldn't catch up with them. Okay? So it was a strategy. But at that point in time, the Israelites, I'm sure, they are beginning to question, where is even this pillar of cloud and fire that was leading us? What happened to it? Could it be that, God, you have deserted us? Could it be that, God, you are nowhere to be found? Could it be we are all alone and all by ourselves? Could it be that we will perish today? And in the midst of this questioning, God was walking behind the scene. So I explained this to my children. I said to them that any point in time, and I'm bringing you the same message, okay? Any point in time in your life where you think that you can't feel God's presence, when you think that Lord is silent, learn to trust in His love. Learn to trust in His genuine mercy and love towards you. So to explain it further to the children, so during the summer holiday, and this was what I explained to my own children as well. So during the summer holiday, I and my husband, we planned that we're going to take the children for a holiday, okay? But we didn't want to tell them, we didn't want to let them know. So what we did was we booked everything, we had everything planned, and on that day, they just saw me packing things and they were asking what's going on. I'm like, we are going somewhere. And my son kept pressing and pushing for me to, you know, tell him where we're going to. They were all asking questions, and I said to them, when we get there, you see. And we never said anything to them, and we left. And they were asking, are we gonna sleep over there? And I'm like, I'm not sure. We may not, but in case we should, I have to have a backup plan, you know. So we took them to that place for the holiday, and these children had the best holiday, best summer holiday ever. They were so happy. Then I began to question them. I said to them, so the times you guys were asking us questions and trying to get more information about where we were going, how did you feel? They said they were feeling frustrated because they didn't know where we were going to. But then, and I said, so if you were not comfortable, so why did you still have to go? Then I said, because we know that whatever plan it is may not be bad. It may not be a bad plan, but they still had to follow. And I said, but did it ever cross your mind that maybe we're planning to go and say you guys like Joseph's brothers did to him? They said no, they didn't think about them getting sold or anything like that. And I said, okay, what if so you didn't even think about we going to dump you guys somewhere? They were like, no. And I said, okay, so you just obeyed because you trust us, isn't it? They were like, yeah, they obeyed because they trust in our love. They know that we really care for them and we cannot harm them or do them any wrong. And they followed, and at the end of it all, they were happy, they had fun. So this is how it is with us and God. So in the midst of you know, obscurity, when it seems as though you're not getting a clear understanding of the situation, and you know that God sent you for this, sent you to do this, trust in His mercy. In the midst of chaos, in the midst of adversaries and adversities, remember that what God's love is there with you. That whatever that is happening, that at the end of it all, He's bringing you to that expected end. I just hope this uplifts your spirit. I just hope this speaks to you personally and everyone listening to me. God still has a plan in the midst of chaos. Trust in His mercy, trust in His love, that He knows the plan He has towards you. It is the plan of good, it is the plan of peace and not of evil, to bring you to that expected end. And I pray that God's countenance shall shine upon you in every situation, upon the children. May we come into experience of the love, of the mercy that comes with knowing Jesus. Thank you for listening. God bless you. I love you so much. Bye.